Hello, everyone. I'm Angelica, and welcome to True Crime and Sesh. Today, we're going to be talking about a case that haunted a small town for years, confused investigators, and divided the internet, and left behind more questions than answers long before an arrest was ever made. Two best friends went on a walk on a trail they knew very well in the middle of the day and never came home. So grab your Sesh accessories, light up, spark up, whatever you may need. Let's get into it. Today, we're going over the Delphi murders. I do have my notes over here on the side, so I will be periodically looking at those. So Liberty German, who also went by Livy, was 14. Abigail Williams, who went by Abby, was only 13. They were both way too young and deserved way better than what happened to them. They were best friends, like literally inseparable. The kind who spent the night at each other's houses, took pictures together, and laughed nonstop and documented everything on their phones. Sunday night, February 12th, 2017, the girls were over at Libby's. Abby had brought over arts and crafts, and they spent the evening working on projects. They were excited that they were about to have that next Monday off. I don't know if you remember as a kid, but I as a kid loved having a day off from school. They just had that inner kid excitement, if you know. February 13, 2017. The girls had asked Libby's grandma if they could go out to the trail. By 1:30, Libby's sister had dropped them off at the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. It was a small town, the kind of place where people didn't lock their doors, and the kids grew up riding their bikes around the neighborhood. This trail wasn't unfamiliar. It was a place many locals went to. Families went for walks to explore and take photos. Libby had even posted a Snapchat just before they were attacked. It was Abby walking on the bridge, and this would become the last known sign of the girls. The girls were supposed to be picked up later that afternoon around 3 by Libby's dad, but when Libby's dad arrived, he couldn't find them anywhere. He began searching, calling out their names, but nothing. When family members couldn't reach them, panic set in fast. They weren't the type to just not communicate with their family. They were responsible for their age. Searches began immediately. The girls were reported missing around 5 p.m. after 2 hours of searching. Around midnight, the police did call off the search and stated that there was no evidence that the girls were in any immediate danger, which was very wrong of them at the time, and they said they would pick back up in the morning. Their family was not buying it. The next day, February 14th, the unthinkable happens. The bodies of Libby and Abby were found near a creek, not far from the trail, less than a mile away. The entire town of Delphi was shattered, and then investigators revealed something that changed everything. Libby had recorded a video on her phone. In that short clip, you can see a man walking towards the girls. On the bridge, he's wearing a jacket, jeans, and a hat. His hands appear to be in his pockets. He looks like any normal person, just an ordinary man. But the audio is what chills people to the core.
See, this is the path that we go down. There's no path going there, so we have to go down here. Hi.
That tiny piece of footage, just seconds long, became one of the most haunting pieces of evidence in modern true crime history. For years, the man in that video was known as Bridge Guy. The investigation exploded. Police received tens of thousands of tips. They interviewed locals, they searched properties, they analyzed vehicles, reviewed hours of footage. 2 different sketches of the suspects were eventually released, which only added confusion because one was like a young person and then the other one was like an older man, so it kind of threw people off. It was kind of just 2 completely different sketches. No arrest, no charges. This case became one of the most talked about unsolved murders in the country. Online communities dissected every frame of that video. Every shadow, every movement. People argued endlessly over the sketches. Theories spiraled. Suspects came and went. And then another name entered the category. Keegan Anthony Klein. I had to talk about this slimeball because what the fuck? Honestly, like if anything positive came out of this, it's that this man was also caught, because what he was doing was also just fucking disgusting. I can't believe it. Early in the investigation, police uncovered a fake social media account called Anthony Shots. The account had used stolen photos of a male model and was used to communicate with underage girls. A fucking predator. Libby had been in contact with that account. In fact, she had communicated with it that day that she was murdered. So at first, investigators kind of thought like, hey, this might be our person. Police executed a search warrant at Keegan Klein's home just weeks after the murders. They seized devices and uncovered a massive amount of child sexual abuse material. But here's where it gets complicated. Keegan Klein was not arrested for years. In 2020, he was finally charged with dozens of child exploitation offenses. Thank God. Possession of child pornography, obstruction of justice, and related crimes. In 2023, Klein pled guilty to 25 charges and was sentenced to 40 years in prison, plus probation, and is required to register as a sex offender for life. He even falsely confessed to the killings in order to try to get a reduced sentence. That is how sick this man is. Thank God he's locked up. Despite all of this, Keegan Klein has never been charged with the murders of Libby and Abby. But his connection to Libby, the timing of the messages, and the secrecy surrounding his role caused a massive speculation. For years, people wondered if he was involved, if he knew the killer, or if he was a red herring. Investigators had to follow just in case, which thankfully they did, because they caught another predator and took him off the street. Then in October of 2022, nearly 6 years after the murders, everything changed. Police arrested Richard Matthew Allen. He was 52 years old, a Delphi resident. He was married, worked at a local CVS pharmacy where he was an assistant manager, a man who had lived in the town the entire time. What shocked people even more was that Allen had actually spoken to the police early on in the investigation. He admitted he had been on the trail that day and was somehow cleared, let go. The luck this man must have had that day. Clearly, someone fucked up. And for years, this unfortunately went unnoticed until a retired CPS worker volunteering with helping digitalizing tips came across Richard Allen's file and found a tip indicating Richard had been on the trail that day. She realized this could be the missing piece and took it to the lead investigator. Thank God for this woman. Honestly, I don't know what the cops must have been doing. Thankfully, she was the one volunteering. When investigators revisited the lead, things started to line up. Allen owned a gun that matched an unspent bullet found at the crime scene. I mean, lock him up right there. I think that's all the evidence y'all need. Just kidding. Witness reported seeing a man matching his description on the trail. Allen admitted he was there, and then, while in custody, something disturbing happened. Richard Allen began confessing. He confessed multiple times to his wife, his mother, to prison staff. He reportedly said he killed the girls.
I killed Abby there.
No, you didn't. Stop. Stop saying that. No, you didn't.
I knew I was supposed to let you go. I was trying to let you go.
Stop. Dear, we're going to be back together.
Will you always love me, baby?
Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? Who's with you? You need to stop talking. If your lawyer's not there, you need to stop talking. Who's with you, honey? Who's with you? Hello? Hello?
Hey, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sure.
But you know that I done it, right?
Dear, I don't want to talk about that. Okay? I'm going to have a good conversation between us. I guess it doesn't matter what I think, but...
Of course it does. Just in a really frustrating spot right now.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, how you doing?
Oh, I'm all right, I guess.
Yeah. It's good to hear your voice.
So did Kathy tell you that I did it?
We're not going to discuss this, okay? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. We love you. You know that, don't you?
Regardless?
Yes.
And do you know if Kathy's okay?
Kathy's doing okay. We've been holding each other up.
I'm just worried that you guys aren't going to love me because of the fact that I said that I did it.
Ricky, I just know you're not in a good place right now. And I'm praying for you, and we will always love you, no matter what. But just saying it doesn't mean you did it.
Well, it does when I did.
Rick, don't talk like this. I think they're just messing with you.
No, Mom, they're not. I love you, though.
What are you doing? I love you too, hon. I just know you don't have it in you to do something like that.
I wouldn't sit here and tell you I did it if I didn't.
Well, if they're messing with your meds and all that, yeah, you would. But we're not going to discuss the case anymore.
So if I did do it, then you guys don't love me anymore?
I will always love you no matter what.
Okay.
And that you can count on that. Hey.
Hey, I did it. Kathy,
What?
I did it. Do you still love me?
Yes, dear. But you didn't do it.
Why do you say that?
Why do you say it?
I don't want to upset you.
I'm already upset.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I've lost my mind.
Honey, you can't call me and talk like this, okay?
I'm so sorry, baby.
I can't talk to you right now.
I didn't want to do this.
The defense later argues that these confessions were unreliable, claiming Alan was mentally deteriorating due to solitary confinement and harsh jail conditions. But prosecutors stood by them. At trial, Libby's phone footage played a major role. That video, the same one the public had seen for years, now had a suspect attached to it. The prosecution laid out their case. The bullet, the gun, the vehicle, the witness, the confessions, and the timeline. The defense tried to argue that other suspects should have been considered. They attempted to introduce theories involving extremist groups and ritualistic killings. I didn't really get into this whole part of the case because I truly believe, after all my deep dives and investigation with all the evidence that was found, that he was the guy. But people try to make theories that it was like this cult and shit. I think they found the person responsible. The judge did not allow it. After weeks of testimony on November 11th, 2024, the jury reached a verdict. Richard Allen was found guilty on all counts. 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of murder during attempted kidnapping. In December 2024, he was sentenced to 130 years in prison, 65 years for each girl served consecutively. The judge called the crime hideous and spoke directly about the lifelong trauma inflicted on the families and the community. Allen was transferred to a maximum security prison in Oklahoma, where he remains today. But even now, the case isn't fully closed. In 2025, Allen's attorney filed an extensive appeal. I mean, go ahead and try, but I really think the evidence is just done and sealed. Like I said, they got their guy. They argue that he was denied the ability to present alternative suspects, maybe because there wasn't any more, that his confessions were coerced or unreliable. You're telling me a man was coerced to admit over 60 plus times that he committed these murders. I don't know about you, but I don't think I would listen to someone for that long, but that's me. And that his constitutional rights were violated. They're really just trying to scrape at any straw here. Prosecutors maintain that the evidence is overwhelming and that the conviction will stand. I agree with this. As of today, the appeal process is ongoing, but honestly, like I said, I really don't think he's going to get it. The evidence they have is way too strong. The Delphi murders are one of those cases that truly never really leaves you. Two young girls, a normal afternoon, a decision to take a walk, and a moment that changed everything. Libby's bravery, pulling out her phone in what were likely her final moments, helped bring justice years later. But it also reminds us how fragile safety can be, even in the places we trust the most. Thank you for joining me for this episode of True Crime and Sesh. If you want more deep dives like this, make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments what case you want me to talk about next. As always, stay safe and stay curious, and I'll see you in the next sesh.